Hi, I'm Frank Melling, and I've got the great pleasure of organising the Thundersprint in not so sunny Northwich, but it's a lovely Saturday evening. It's 5 to 7 and we're going to be ready to rock and roll in less than 10 hours now.
Preparations are indeed well underway, turning a car park into a racetrack. But of course, you can't have a race without bikes, and we'll be seeing lots of hot race action later in the show. But first, let's have a bit of Thundersprint history, shall we?
We began the Thundersprint 7 years ago with a very clear idea of what could be done with motorcycle sport. Motorcycle sport was always aimed at experts, always aimed at people who were enthusiasts. We wanted to take motorcycle sport and bring it to the general public. So sprinting is very simple, one bike, one rider, simple timing system. But in addition to that, we've added lots of new interesting ideas. We've got ballet, we've got Morris dancing, we've got maypole dancing, we've got brass bands, we've got Spitfire, we've got a huge party, and that party has a motorcycling theme, and that's why the Thundersprint's a success. It's friendly, it's open, and it's of the community and for the community, and it excites me in my heart and excites me in my mind.
Tomorrow we'll see over 200 bikes roaring round the Thundersprint circuit one at a time, which means that timing is crucial.
Hello there, I'm Trevor Duckworth from Straightliners. We run motorsport events throughout the country. This weekend we're here at Northwich for the famous Thundersprint. It's the biggest event of its kind in the UK, probably in Europe, and we're here to time it. We're just setting up all the timing gear and getting everything ready for tomorrow. We've measured the track so that we can put the intermediate stops in. We'll be able to give the rider 2 splits and a finish. The track is virtually laid, all our cabling is in now. Tomorrow morning, first thing, 6 o'clock, we'll be laying the lamps and the timing equipment, and we'll be ready to run at 8:45 for practice. Well, the racing here is very good. I mean, we time all over the country. This is the biggest event there is in Europe, and it is absolutely spot on. The racing is really, really good, and the guys and riders really take it seriously.
The Thundersprint is a free event, and so it relies on sponsors and lots of support to make it all happen.
The purpose of Bike Trader being associated with the Thundersprint is to come in contact with the public, with the general public, rather than advertisers and dealers. We just decided to bring the trailer here today and bring the magazines to the actual reader. The event last year had a 50,000 attendance, and we're expecting 90,000 attending this year. We've got over 4,000 magazines and goodie bags to give away. Auto Trader are going to be sharing the event with us tomorrow as well, so we're looking to have a good day.
As traders prepare for a busy day and the final finishing touches are put to the track, Frank's thoughts turn to his guest star.
After this, we're going to meet Jim Redman to celebrate his 50 years of motorcycling success. 6 World Championships, 6 TT wins, and only one of 2 people to win 3 GPs in a day, something that can never be achieved again. And we're going to say thank you to Jim for the pleasure he's given to so many people over the years.
So as the riverboat gently wanders down the waterways of Cheshire, we thought we'd catch up with an event that happened earlier in the day.
The awards are going to be presented by our guest of honour today and tomorrow, Jim Redman, who's 6 times world champion and 6 times TT winner. And Jim's starting a celebratory tour of the world of 50 years of motorcycle racing. And he's given us the great honour of starting it here. Thank you for coming, Jim, today. So we're going to start with the sidecar class. First of all, the Triumph Trophy outfit, please. And the best in show, I've had nothing to do with the judging, but I must admit from my heart, I went out with this. What we're here this weekend is to celebrate living bikes. So I'm really glad that Derek Pembleton's very well used Royal Enfield's won. The second goes to the BSA Bantam. The race class there, first CB750R. Thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you all tomorrow at the Thundersprint.
I'm Chris Crimes, and this is a BSA Bantam which I've built from scratch over a couple of winters several years ago. just because I just love riding the bike, and having built it I thought it'd be good to ride it, so I started to go into sprints, and the Thundersprint was the second sprint that I took part in. That's about 5-6 years ago, and I've been in every one since. It's just a fun bike to ride, no great shakes on speed, but it's just a great ride, and it's a wonderful sprint to take part in. It's ideal for the short sprints, and being nimble and light, and ideally suited to the Thundersprint as well. And that's, being a classic bike, it really is good. Yeah, a little bit of tweaking done to it, but it's as it is. It's a Bantam, instantly recognisable, and it's a bike that a lot of people first rode when they first started biking.
It's been a good show, and I've won first prize for best of class and first prize for best of show. Normally I start out about 9:30 in the morning, go up to Llangollen, the Ponderosa, the coffee, natter with the lads for about an hour and a half, and then straight back via Wrexham. Throughout my life on this bike, I've done about 170,000 miles. So, still going strong, get another couple of years on it, then I've had it for 50 years then. I've never been in a sprint. I did paste it a few times when it was new, but now I've slowed down a lot.
Hello there, my name's Peter. I'm a member of the Historic Endurance Racing team. We're actually here today to demonstrate these three machines. We've actually put them together to demonstrate the endurance racing side of motorcycling. This machine originally began life in a shop in 1969. It was one of the first Honda CB750s to actually come to the UK. It was purchased by Mr. Peter Darville and was campaigned in the 24-hour Boldor series in 1971, in which it actually came second to Percy Tate on the Works BSA, and it raced from 1969 through to 1972. This particular machine is not an original racing bike. It was actually purchased for £200 as a box of bits over 4 years ago. It's been extensively rebuilt, and you now see it in the form of a Honda CB750R. The engine is an 820 Yoshimura engine. It's got many extras which have been put on to make it useful for racing. This is the original bike, that actually the reason why the Historic Endurance team was formed. This bike was campaigned by Mr. Peter Darville, who was a great endurance racer. We actually found this in the back of a garage covered in mould. It was filthy dirty, and we just recognised it from one small bit. This bike has been put back together. It's still in its original condition as it was in its last race in 1978. And we are here to actually show his life, show the bikes that he used to race, and to actually celebrate what he did. And hopefully he will be attending a number of events this year to actually see and hear his machines being ridden.
Which is fantastic. But what do the local council make of all that noise and racket on a Sunday?
I'm Anne Bingham-Holmes. I'm the Chief Executive of Vale Borough Council. I'm really pleased to be here today, and how much the Borough Council enjoys having such an event here in Northwich. It's been the second year that we've held this event. We were a little worried about last year about whether people would come along, but we were really fantastically surprised that we had over 50,000 visitors. And I think this year we're expecting something in the region of 75,000 people to come. The enthusiasts that exist around the area will want to come along and see the type of event that we've got here. I think it's fair to say that I knew nothing about motorbikes last year, but with the enthusiasm of people like Frank Melling and Jim Redman who introduced us to the subject, the whole roar, the noise, just the whole event was fantastic, and that's what I'm hoping to get out of it again this year.
When you've got a successful show like the Thundersprint, you're always looking to build on that success. So how many people was Frank expecting this time around?
Tomorrow we'll have 75,000 people packed into the centre of Northwich, and this brings motorcycle sport and the general public together in a way which is unparalleled. And that's thanks to the people of Northwich and the generosity of the local council, who recognise that the Thundersprint is not motorcycle sport for somebody else, not motorcycle sport which you only have to be a committed enthusiast to enjoy. This is of and for the community, and for me it's a sheer delight.
and it will be a delight to see loads of these bikes in action. We'll have the bikes racing, trials bike demos and the cavalcade of machines around the centre of Northwich. All of that after the break. Welcome back to Bike Shows UK. This week we're in Northwich in Cheshire for the Thundersprint, a Grand Prix in the streets. Well, the action's been underway for a few hours now. How's it going?
It's been a fantastic morning already. The racing's been good. The weather's held off. The only disappointment is that the weather's so bad in the rest of England that the Spitfire's not flying in. But we've got 75,000 people here having a really good time. We've just had the cavalcade, which everybody's loved, and it's really excellent in every way. You can see really from the numbers of people we've got here, it's an incredible crowd. Everybody is surprised. I mean, even I'm surprised. 6 o'clock yesterday, it was empty. We had a normal town centre. 6 o'clock today, we'll have a normal town centre. And in between, we've got a Grand Prix in the streets.
This is an event that attracts all kinds of different riders on all kinds of different machines. But who was Frank tipping for glory at this year's Thundersprint?
Pepin, I think, to win it. Pepin's BSA suits these greasy conditions. Jason Collins on the 350 Honda, I think, will also go well. And if it dries out a bit, Peter Whiteleg on the 1000cc Raptor. At present, the person I would back for maybe the fastest time of the day is Michael Neves on the Brutale from Motorcycle News.
Well, the circuit's much shorter than I thought. You've got to take it pretty easy. Craig Jones has already gone down on the Triumph. Where he crashes just after the finish line, where you're accelerating quite hard, but then there's not a lot of room to brake afterwards, so you probably just broke too hard. So the idea is just to go out there, not try and go too fast, and just sort of learn the circuit, see where the grip is, and not go too mad. A lot of people, me included, are probably taking it a bit too seriously. We all want to win, and a lot of people have bought pucker sports bikes with them, which I think could be a bit of a disadvantage here because it's a very tight track and there's nowhere really for the bikes to stretch their legs. So I think the perfect bike really is something like this, with sit up and beg, easy to throw about, nice and light with quite a lot of power. So this should be the one.
But you don't have to be racing to have a good time at the Thundersprint. Even the council leader was enjoying himself.
I'm very pleased to be here obviously today. This is the second time that we've had the Thundersprint. We did it last year. It was a bit of a step into the dark really because we didn't really know whether it would take off. It did take off, so we decided to do it again. And as you see, it's even better this time. We've got more trade stands, we've got more bikers, we've got people from all over the continent and even from America here today.
I'm here in England for my first time ever. I am riding the historic endurance racing Honda CV750. It's got a Yoshimura 820 engine. It's putting out about 90 horsepower. And I'm riding this bike as a substitute rider for Clive Brooker, who owns the bike. My bike didn't show up, and so instead of riding a 25 horsepower BSA, I'm on a 90 horsepower. That makes it a little bit more exciting. The track itself is real easy, you know. I mean, there's nothing real complicated about it. I think getting a good start is a key to getting a good time, and I think that that last turn, the big right-hand turn lead into the finish, I think that's where the race will be won or lost for somebody.
But the Thundersprint isn't just about the heat of competition. One of the less competitive but nonetheless hugely enjoyable parts of the day is the cavalcade, a chance for all sorts of people to ride round the town centre, revving their engines and generally showing off. And best of all, the cavalcade is led by a genuine motorcycling legend, Jim Redman, 6 times world champion.
Well, it's Jim Redman here at the Thundersprint for the 6th year in succession, I think. I came to the first one and Three Sisters, and from there we only had 15,000 people. We've built it up till last year we had 50,000 people here, and hopefully we'll have 75,000 here today. It's a unique event because it's a fun day out for everybody and supposed to be a fun day out for the riders. We're parading, I think, 250 bikes through the town, which with the police escort, and they're going to do 30 miles an hour because the racing bikes, you can't ride them too slowly. So you can do 30 miles an hour in first gear, and that keeps them turning over quite nicely. Bikes today are reliable, they're beautiful, and I think there should be a hell of a lot more promotion into getting people on scooters and bikes as everyday transport. And motorbikes keep you young, you know. I'm 72 going on 23, you know, and when I get on the bike, the red mist still comes down and you go too quick and you fall off. I fell off in Australia in Perth in November last year and broke a collarbone. So there's no fall like an old fall, you know, and but I love it.
For a lot of the entrants, the Thundersprint is one of the highlights of the biking year, but for some people, it's a last-minute thing.
Standing in for somebody today that couldn't make it. So I've left my usual office desk sort of job, which is artwork, to come out and play with my new long-termer and just see what it's all about. A load of paperwork landed on my desk saying, go and do this, it'll be good fun. So what the hell is it? So I had no idea, just turned up and just find out what it is, and it's quite different to what I expected actually. It's entertaining watching them trying to start them and trying not to crash them and all that, and I can see the enthusiasm in it and the amount of money and love that's been lavished on them, but it's then really not my bag, baby. Yeah, it's good to see Jim Redman here on the replica bike. It's good to see different bikes I wouldn't get to see ordinarily, so I suppose in that respect, yeah, it's really good. The quickest I saw was 21 on this bike with tyres this wide, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, it takes all sorts, but no matter whether their bike is ancient or modern, the one thing all the Thundersprint entrants want to know is how fast they're getting around the course, not a straightforward business.
On this occasion, instead of doing just the quarter-mile drag racing, we're actually doing a circuit where we're timing the bikes on 3 different points. The first bend, we get the time there, the second bend, how long it takes them to get there, and then the finishing points as well. We've got a timekeeping system where Helen has to input the bike number when he's on the start line, and it tells us who the rider is, what bike he's on, and then she feeds in the details of these 3 times as they're going around the track. And as she feeds in the times, they're coming up onto the display so the spectators can see straight away the times that the bikes are doing as they're going round. And the bikes are taking upwards of 30 seconds to go all the way around the circuit. The fastest bikes that we've had today are doing around about 20 seconds mark. We've had 2 bikes today that have dipped below 20 seconds, and it's been real good competition between all the different classes.
And if you weren't getting your fix of speed out there on the course, there were cheap thrills aplenty on the fun fair. But how had the day gone? We asked all sorts of people, and where better to begin than with a brace of beauty queens.
Hi, I'm Miss Vale Royal Laura Hulse, and I'm Miss Leisure World Leah Barlow. And we're here at the Thundersprint having a great time. I think this is the most people I've ever seen in Northwich. Yeah, it's packed. It's great.
I haven't seen much of it yet, I haven't even got to the racing, but we like the fact that there's a Sunday event on anywhere particularly that gathers people and there's a more social air to a Sunday.
This is a great time at the Thundersprint. All of you should come down. I'm having a good time too.
That's basically just to enjoy the day, look at all the bikes that have been brought out, all the work that's been done by people. It's a good chance to show non-biking people what it's all about. It's the music, it's all the other events that are going on. It's a great day out for the kids. It's superb. There are a few events around the country, there should be a lot more to be honest, but this is one of the better ones. It's a good day out for everyone.
I had no idea what it was or what it was going to be like, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I've had a good day so far.
Well, we've come up from Chester, we came last year. I think it's a fantastic event, it's free. There's just loads of stalls to see. The racing's pretty good. The track's not as good as it used to be, but it's still a great day out. But I love to hear the sound of the old bikes. They're just ear-shatteringly loud.
And nothing wrong with that, but if you're thinking of going next year, don't forget your earplugs. But it's not just the racing that attracts 75,000 people to the Thundersprint. It's the spirit of motorcycling, it's the camaraderie, it's those things that makes motorcycling unique.
Everybody has got the sort of the interest in the bikes. Everybody wants to come and talk to each other about the bikes, and just the thrill of when it comes your turn to take part in the class. You know, the excitement, it really is great, just another buzz, you know. Back to when I was 18 and 19, I suppose.
It is a bit of fun, so you can't really try too hard. The last thing you want to do is go home with a broken bike and broken bones. But equally, you know, we're all here to represent our magazines and companies, so we all want to do well.
Anybody will have something to look at here. Everybody will have something to cheer about, and if you can't find something, if you can't find a bike that turns your crank here, then you may not be a motorcycle enthusiast.
This is the biggest event there is in Europe, and it is absolutely spot on. The racing is really, really good, and the guys and riders really take it seriously.
The whole Thundersprint, I think, is here to stay. It's booked already full. The riding list is full for next year, and riders want to be booking already for the year after. So Frank said, no, I can only deal with this one and one more at a time.
This is of and for the community, and for me it's a sheer delight. I must admit that if I didn't organise the Thundersprint, I'd be making sure that nothing but nothing in the world clashed with it. I love it.
And we love it too. And if you fancy entering the event, then check out their website. Or if you just want to go along and watch, then don't forget it won't cost you a penny. Well, that's all from this edition of Bike Shows UK.